Hello everyone, it's Leaf here. I'm making this new up-to-date beginner's guide to Eidolon. In this series we go fast and informative, leaving nothing out. In previous episodes we talked about some basic mechanics and focus. If you are interested, you can check the Eidolon guide playlist for the previous and next videos. In this video, we will be talking about amps, the operator weapons. We will begin with how each part of the amp contributes to the amp's stats. There are three parts of an amp, and the amp is a basic assembly of the parts. First part, the prism, makes the primary fire of the amp.
Left mouse button as default for keyboard and mouse setup. Second part, the scaffold, makes the alternate fire of the amp. Middle mouse button as default for keyboard and mouse setup.
Third part, the brace, adds or subtracts some stats like critical chance, status chance, amp energy regeneration rate and such. Now that we know about how amps are assembled, let's talk about the easy to access beginner amp. You can get all of the parts from Quilonco in Cetus after you have finished the War Within quest. It's the combination of Wrap-like Prism, Shraxon Scaffold, and Lowrim Brace. It is also known as 1, 2, 3 amp because it is made from the first tier Prism, second tier Scaffold, and third tier Brace, the tiers being the order you gain access to the parts. Okay, let's go part by part. Wrap-like Prism will make your primary fire a long-range hit-scan void beam. Wrap-like Prism has exceptionally good critical chance and critical damage. It has pretty good damage on single shot, and it will be our go-to prism. Shraxon Scaffold, it's different. It shoots a short range, wide shotgun-like blasting projectile. It can go through enemies, but it cannot go through solid ground, and it will stagger you when the blasting occurs too close to yourself. Shraxon Scaffold has quite low critical chance, but it can deal a lot of damage with multiple hits, and you're not bound with a single shot which needs to crit. You have multiple instances of damage if you use it right. For the choice of brace, the only stat that matters which braces can add to our amp, the only stat that will enhance our ability to take down shields of the Eidolon is critical chance. Lowrim Brace is a flat increase in critical chance and status chance by 12%. It means Wrap-like after gilding your amp has a base of 38% critical chance, but it will go up to 50%, and Shraxon after gilding your amp has a base of 20% critical chance, but it will go up to 32% with Lowrim Brace. Status chance part is completely irrelevant. You should gild your amp, as the stats of the gilded amp will be significantly higher than a non-gilded one. Also, in order to put an Arcane on it, you again have to gild it. I will talk about our Arcane choice after I finish talking about the meta shield breaker amp. Now let's talk about the meta amp for the people who have access to Fortuna amp parts. It will be none other than Wrap-like Prism, Propa Scaffold, and Certus Brace combination. Again, part by part, Wrap-like Prism is a single shot hit-scan void beam with long range. It has very high critical stats. Propa Scaffold is a slow-moving projectile which detonates after 1.6 seconds. It moves 2 meters forward before detonating, and the explosion hits a range of 9 meters. The range can actually be increased by unbinding a focus school tree waybound. It is Basilisk Gaze node from Unairu. It supposedly increases the void blast range, but it also increases the range of Propa Scaffold. The explosion has a fall of up to 90% damage decrease, and the fall off at the same range will be lower if the range is increased. So please make sure that you have this waybound unbound as soon as possible. Back to Propa stats, it has quite high critical chance and critical damage, but definitely lower than Wrap-like with the critical chance. It packs a massive punch with huge damage, but again the fall off makes things ugly, so do not go too far away from the Eidolon when you want to shoot your Propa. Finally, Certus Brace flat increases the critical chance of your Prism and Scaffold by 20%. It is an 8% chance upgrade to Lowrim Brace. The amp is known as 177 as again it is a composition of the first tier Prism, 7th tier Scaffold, and 7th tier Brace, tiers being the order at which you can access them. I should also mention the Arcane you should put on your amp. It does not change for what amp you use, it only depends on your role. If you are a shield breaker, you should use Virtue's Shadow on your amp. It will further increase your critical chance by 60% at max rank and make your chances of one-shotting the Eidolon shields much higher. It is a multiplicative increase, so Wrap-like with Lowrim Brace will now have 80% critical chance for the next 12 seconds. The trigger action for the Arcane proc is Headshot, and it's 45% chance to activate. But as Void Strike users, we do not want to be wasting our Void Strike stacks with little chance to critical hit. So instead of shooting the Eidolon's head, we Void Dash the Eidolon's head with our operator. Void Dash counts as a hit, and if you dash the head, it is a successful headshot. We go back and forth till we see the Arcane proc in the UI buff section. It takes a ton of practice, so don't feel discouraged if you fail at the start. Let's briefly talk about how water shield mechanics work for both 123 and 177 amps. I valued this a lot, so we will talk more about this in water shields guide later on. By water shields I mean when Gantolists and Hydrolists are coming out of water as they are spawning. You see the body of the Eidolon by the Eidolon hunts? Not everything is the same as you can see. The Eidolons have hitboxes by the lake, which can be hurt by explosions. Do you see the Eidolon falling into water from the lakeside? I want you to imagine that Eidolon is standing where it falls from, or where it will eventually reach. With this information, I want you to use your explosion effects, namely propa and Shraxin, in a way that you do not believe what you see. The Eidolon will be coming out of water like this, and you should spot where it's gonna end up at. And when you are there, with Shraxin, you should shoot up, hitting the hitboxes of the Eidolon, which you cannot see. And with propa, you should shoot down, which will let your propa to detonate on the ground and deal damage immediately. I did not talk about this before, but you should also, of course, always shoot through Vault Shields with your amp. It will effectively double your critical damage. Only with the use of Unire Wisp, Vault Shield, and Void Strike stacks, you can succeed at shooting down Eidolon shields fast and consistently. Before I end the video, I also want to show you the spreadsheet for the amount of Void Strike stacks and buffs needed in order to one-shot respective Eidolon's shield. Shoutouts to Hansen, Snuggles, Alistair for making this table. If you have enough stacks and you can get your buffs, you should shoot Raplak instead of Propa or Shraxin. You can rely on Propa with 80% chance, including Witch's Shadow with Stardust Brace, or you can rely on Raplak with 92.5% chance, again including Witch's Shadow with Stardust Brace. If you cannot obtain this high stacks, you should up your gameplay and stay in Void mode more or manage your 8 stacks better. We will talk about all that in the future, but this will be it for this episode. Next episode will be about the roles in an Eidolon hunt. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, don't forget to tap the like and subscribe buttons, and I hope to see you on another video. Take good care of yourself.